Well, I mean, as we get more comfortable with, sculpting our sound and the way we write songs, we are including more elements into the music that maybe we didn't have the means to do so before. Like on the first album, we had really kind of gotten what we wanted the band to sound like, and it's a very pure sort of like the whole album sort of has this one kind of vibe. And for Foundations, we wanted to diversify everything, have some different tempos, some different textures, different guitar sounds, and experiment more in the studio with panning and all kinds of stuff like that, bigger vocals. And then over time we started doing vocal harmonies live as well. And for our next stuff that we've been working on, there's even more elements and diversity.
Just continuing to build on the foundation.
Yeah.
We've already
so
made.
To speak. Yeah, we have shorter and longer songs on the next album, which is kind of a challenge because already our songs are basically as short as we can make them. We're not really trying to write super long songs; they just end up that way.
Yeah, every song just ends up being
9 or 12 minutes.
Yeah, it just always ends up being that way. No matter how short or long it starts, is when we're starting to work on it, it ends up.
I'll occasionally be like, I'll be writing a song and be, oh, this is going to be a short one. We've finally done a short song, amazing, and then it ends up being another 13-minute song. Well, it's like we just try to have a lot of melodic and complex, melodies, which I guess can be uplifting because it's, overwhelming and just satisfying from a pure oral standpoint, but to me it's just trying to get the emotions across. But yeah, I mean, I guess it can sound uplifting to some people. It's not purely fatalistic like a lot of doom metal is. It's more comes from a humanistic day-to-day life sort of standpoint.
I think the stuff that a lot of people think of as sounding uplifting, it's more triumphant.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. That's not necessarily a positive.
Right.
You can be triumphant and it still be sad.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's melancholic, mostly to me.
I don't really analyze it that much from a writing standpoint. It just kind of fuck yes, this part needs to sound like this.
For me, it's any of the lyrics that I wrote are incredibly personal. So
yeah, I mean, I have to sing them every night, so I wouldn't want to write about something I don't care about. So yeah, I mean, there's more perhaps sociological type stuff in my lyrics on the second album, but there's still things that are personally important to me. Yeah, it's gotten easier over time and the more we've played these songs, but early on when we would play live, it would take me an easy half hour at least to just become my normal self again, because I would get so drawn into this hyper depressive state, and it's a little easier to transform back and forth nowadays, but still, yeah, for sure, when I'm on stage, I channel wherever I was feeling what I was feeling whenever the songs were being constructed, and then try to leave that on stage, and then generally try to be as happy as possible, if possible. It was difficult just to release the first album. I had weeks of high anxiety, because even though the lyrics are so metaphorical and kind of oblique, was still very nervous just because of how personal it was. I knew people wouldn't know what I was talking about, but some people have gotten remarkably close, but I'm more comfortable with it now because people have come up and talked to me about how the lyrics and the music helped them get through difficult times in their life, and so I understand that it's valuable to some people, so I don't feel as nervous about it. I feel like I'm hopefully doing something good for someone.
Yeah, they create their own story that's based on their experiences from it. I mean, really, that's more than anything what I hope people get out of it is just make it your own.
That's why we don't generally explain our lyrics, because it just kind of could ruin it for someone. If someone creates this song that's something really special to them, and we just go out and say like, no, that's not what it is. It's like Ray Bradbury with Fahrenheit 451. He was insisting it's not about burning books, it's about television, and no one gives a fuck. It's like, yeah, dude, you wrote the book, but you're wrong. And it ruined. It's kind of, it's better sometimes left alone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only a rough estimate, really. I mean, we're gonna try to. Our plan is to after all this touring, and then we're doing High on Fire tour in August, or July and August, and then we're taking like at least a good 6 months off to make sure that everything is like we want it to be, and just to possibly like give our bodies a rest from all the other stuff that comes with touring.